Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a timely reading about random shift. This is a general or collective reading, so parts may or may not resonate. Take what works for you and just leave the rest. This is also a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That may give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, good morning, Stella. All right, my cat Stella is here purring already. Yes, so you got happy feet already. All right, I did a short meditation before this, and the crystal here is black tourmaline. Black tourmaline repels all negative energy. We do have the Three of Cups here. The Three of Cups in tarot represents a celebration. However, the celebration is not really between the people. It's not like they're intimate with each other. It's more they're celebrating something that has happened, an event that has happened, or something that they feel is worthy to celebrate. Now, the thing is, none of them are looking at each other. They're looking at the cups, and this is that energy. In a lot of cultures, when people toast each other, if someone toasts you, say in Europe, and you don't look them in the eye, they'll freak out on you because they have a superstition that if you don't look someone in the eye when you are toasting them, it causes 7 years bad luck in your love life, and not just in yours, but in theirs. So they take it quite seriously. And this energy here, the cups are about love. Sometimes it could be romantic, sometimes it could be anyone or anything, or sometimes even something you love to do or something you love to be. So this is I always reserve judgment on this card. Sometimes this will come up, quite often actually. It does come up as gossip and slander. And if there's a third party energy in a love relationship, quite often this card will come up. So we're just going to reserve judgment on that. And we have, from my oracle, the underlying energy for the reading is denial. And this is basically what I don't know won't hurt me. And this is the Queen of Denial. This is Hatshepsut. But actually Hatshepsut was one of the only, I think she's the only female pharaoh. And when she was ruling, she took the place of her brother because he was too young, and she was next in line after, I think, her father had died. And so she held office for him until he was old enough to. And then he betrayed her in the end. But this is talking about, this painting is from my Oracle Tales from the Vector. And it's when I was in Peru. This was something I saw in one of my visions there with the shamans. All right. So we have denial. What I don't know won't hurt me. Yes, what you don't know could hurt you. And with these two cards together, it feels like this is maybe going to come up. But the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. So this is really awesome. This is talking about, the past, the present, and the future coming together. And this is like the Wheel of Fortune is when it shows up, it's saying that good fortune is ahead of you. The wheel is turning after maybe a difficult time. And I do see some cards here representing a little bit of that energy. So we're going to get into it. This is the past, the present, and the future. There's actually 3 wheels on the Wheel of Fortune. And on one of them are the Hebrew letters for the name of God, which is tetragrammaton. And a tetragrammaton is it's a sacred geometric symbol showing equalization of all forces. So this energy is representing God's plan, and that you are on God's plan. And because you are on God's plan, the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor, following your destined path. Then we have this energy of the 6 of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is talking about learning the give and take in life, how much time, money, energy you want to invest in anyone or anything, like in a project or people or whatever it is. The Pentacles represent health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. And of course, a big part of that is money. So the Pentacles are, representing the element of earth. And so this is about earthly matters and matters that and the matter on earth, basically. And this is saying, you could have all the money in the world, but you might not still be living the lifestyle that you want to live. So this is talking about lifestyle as well as money. And you notice this person has sown seeds and taken action and is now in the harvest of these pentacles. Six of Pentacles would be upper middle class. And this is talking about being, giving to charity to this person here, because his discernment is telling him that this person will really be grateful for it, appreciate it, and do something to benefit themselves with it. He has the scales of justice above this person's head. This person already has something in his pocket. This is a grifter. This is someone that wants to use this person's money and risk his money when he has his own. And this card can sometimes represent breadcrumbing energy, where you feel like you're not getting paid what you should be getting paid for the work. Something's off. And it quite often can involve, justice needing to come in over someone or something or some systems that are, breadcrumbing you in some way. And then we have immature competition. So this is my Mean Girls card. They are representing the element of fire here. The wands are made of wood. Wood fuels fire. And this is talking about taking passionate action. Now, this is the only card in the tarot where there's adolescents duking it out like this. And so this is talking about, sometimes this can represent sibling rivalry. This can talk about, immature competition. Think about, narcissistic cheerleaders, grade 6 to grade 10 energy. They're used to winning, like they made the team and other people didn't, and they let everybody know. And the energy, they're at a competition, and they can see there's another team there that is better than them, and they're freaked out because they always win, and now they can tell, like, we might not win the trophy today, and they have to have that trophy. So they're willing to do what they need to do, whether that's cheating or whatever it is, so that they win. And if they don't succeed, their mothers will pull strings behind the scenes to make sure they do. That's the kind of scenario we're talking about here. And this is talking, really competition, particularly in sports for young people, is to master your skill set and to be able to learn from the competition and be inspired by the competition to rise up to the level and surpass it. So this energy is talking about how you can use competition to learn from it, be inspired by it. Like if everyone on the team just sat and watched this team and really figured out, okay, how are they doing those moves and how are they making it look so clean? They're so in sync. And then, okay, we're all going to work on this. And even if every person on the team is only 1% better than they were, that would really add up. And the next time they go out, they're more likely to deserve the trophy. And so this is talking about, putting too much focus on the trophy. Of course, it's fun to win the trophy, but you're not going to win in real life. You're not going to win every battle or every competition you go into. There's always going to be someone else there that could be better than you. So it's just talking about, understanding how to use the competition to learn from it and be inspired so that you can be a better version of yourself. And then we have the Page of Pentacles, and Page of Pentacles is talking about some sort of communication coming in, and it's regarding your lifestyle, some sort of money. Now, when the Page of Pentacles comes in, it's significant about the age, because the pages would work for the king and the queen at a very young age, around 7 to 14, depending on their maturity. You know, you may think, well, that's really young, and it is, but back in those days, people didn't live as long as they do now. And so they would start work very young, and this would be a real coup for the page, because they would be, dressed in finery. They would be educated in the ways of the elite, and really it was very prestigious for them and their family. And if they were doing a really good job, they could end up, their main thing would be to relay communication between the palace walls and within the court, do small errands, tasks, and they would be gradually given more responsibility as they got older, until if at the age of 21, if they were considered, they might even be considered for knighthood, so if they could afford their own horse. So this is talking about the age of the pentacles can represent the communication coming in, could be from, especially with this card here as well, could be from when you were younger, like when you were in elementary school, high school, just starting university, college, excuse me. If you're hearing that noise in the background, that's just my cat. She's purring right into the mic. Don't chew on it, Stella. And so this is talking about, being the message or the communication could be all the way back from when you were in elementary school, high school, or just starting out in the workforce, or going, entering university, college. It could also be, you might run into people that you met from back at that time, or sometimes it could be like even someone that's from the past that you haven't seen for 7 years, 14 years, 21 years. That might give you an idea, a little bit more information about the communication coming in. Also, in the old days, this would always be a male, but nowadays could very easily be a female, inner masculine energy. All of the characters in tarot are archetypes, so they're not gender specific. They're representing masculine and feminine energy. So we do have, and so the information itself, in the old days, the only way that the information could come in would be in person, like with being handed, a sealed document, or verbally. But these days, it's far more likely to be a phone call or a text message. Maybe you get something in the mail. This could represent documents coming in. This could be you applying for a position somewhere, to start out in your career or whatever, or you're starting a new promotion at work, applying for that type of energy and getting a reply back. It could represent, if you're in real estate, selling and buying real estate, that the information coming in, whether they purchase if they're purchasing the house or they've decided to turn down the offer, it could be that type of information as well. Like you could be on social media and be on, get a message from someone. There's so many platforms that could be on. You could be watching something on social media and it gives you the information you need for maybe a business idea. Also it's saying it's a really good idea to keep an eye on what's going on at the top of the pyramid, especially with the pentacle energy, because whatever's happening with people running countries and governments, etc., and what's going on and the trends in the world, in that, if you keep your even 5 minutes a day just to figure out, okay, you might get some information that could be really beneficial to your business, or running a business, or starting a new business, getting the trends, etc. And so definitely some information coming in about pentacles. And we have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is representing traditional structure in justice. So justice comes down from the spiritual realm into the physical. So this is talking about spiritual justice as coming down to the physical realm. So if you're a religious person and you go to church, this would be representing, this figure would be representing the traditional structures of your religion or church, popes, cardinals, bishops, the gurus, rabbis, etc. Whoever is running the energy at the top of your church. And if you're more of a spiritual person, it would be representing going straight to source energy through meditation and prayer. And then that is brought down into the traditional structures of the court systems around the world. And that's what this energy is talking about, the Hierophant delegating to others to take the judgment and make sure that justice is carried out. He has his hand, right hand here in the form of a blessing. And this is talking about if you're on the right side of the law, spiritual and on the physical dimension, this is going to be a blessing. If you're on the wrong side of the law, it's going to be, well, you've been caught and you're going to have to deal with the consequences. So we have also here the Nine of Swords. So Nine of Swords is talking about a never-ending nightmare, a cycle that just keeps on repeating itself, not being able to get out of the cycle. And that's where I feel this Wheel of Fortune energy is coming in. This is talking about, you know, you could be waking up from a nightmare here or have been for a long time. The Nine of Swords can be representing like a decade, almost a decade of energy as well of this happening. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. And the energy is also talking about maybe you have prayed and meditated, and that's why this justice is coming through. And now you're getting this, you might have had a dream or an aha moment, you know, that comes over you. And quite often that's in the wee hours of the morning, and where you're trying to remember, what was that dream about? I was shown the steps to take, you know, to move out of this energy. Or this can even be talking about really crushing boredom and wanting to move out of one cycle and into another. So this is getting the enlightenment from prayer and meditation. And sometimes this will come through your dreams. Sometimes your ancestors might, from that, have crossed the veil, might be trying to reach you through your dreams. We have this energy here of the quilt has cosmic symbols on it, and this is representing the universe does have you covered. And so it's saying you know, you deserve to move forward and have a good life and to not be in this cycle of anxiety. And but you're going to have to leave your comfort zone, get out of bed basically, and move forward. It's also talking about, this is just something that I noticed about this card a while back, is that there's people fighting with swords here that are carved into the wood. And, you know, people fighting with swords, the sword energy in tarot represents the element of air, and it represents your thoughts, basically. The swords are your mental intelligence and discipline of your mind. And so this is talking about getting kind of caught up in you know, a mind trap where you keep on recycling the same thoughts over and over and over again, but not really, you know, worry. You may have noticed you can worry about something all you want, and it can cause you to be sleepless and a lot more anxiety, but it doesn't usually do much good. So sleeping on a bed frame with people arguing, that this represents arguing, you know, using words and arguing with each other. So sleeping on a bed with words or with people fighting with swords could cause a lot of negative energy that you're sleeping on. And I'm bringing this up because in Feng Shui, if you have items underneath your bed, they actually, in Feng Shui, they'll tell you don't put anything under your bed. You want the energy to be able to move through. But that's not always practical for people who live in smaller spaces and they need the storage space. So if you do store things underneath your bed, make sure it's not negative things, like maybe you have old photos that of people and places that you no longer want to be around, but you don't want to throw them out because they're a big part of your life. So you're like, oh, where am I going to put them? In a box under the bed. That's not such a great idea because you're sleeping on it every night. You might be surprised if you remove some items from underneath your bed, how much better sleep you actually can have. And then we have the energy of the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups energy is talking about, it's talking about reconciliation. So reconciliation would imply that that forgiveness is needed. Like, to be able to reconcile, you usually have to have forgiveness first. It paves the path to reconciliation. But forgiveness is really for yourself. It's so that you can heal your heart and pull, like be in an energy of, when you forgive, it opens you up to new energy coming in, and it releases the old energy. So you're not carrying it around with you, and you're not burdened with it anymore. It's like giving it back to the person who it belongs to. And so this energy is talking about, it could be about reconciliation. Sometimes this is talking about reunion. As I'm doing this reading right now, it is the summer. And in summer, a lot of times people go back to have family reunions and all that. There's a lot of high school and, reunions, I don't know why I'm having trouble saying that, are happening quite a bit during the summer as well. This can talk about people coming back from your past. And with this energy here and the Pentacle energy, this could be talking about some information coming in, especially with this card as well. That there could be some information coming in from the past that is affecting your pentacles, and maybe some missing pentacle energy here. We do have, when you first look at this picture, this picture actually has a lot of illusions in it, because when you first look at it, it looks like two children are playing with these potted plants, and there's this person watching over them. But when you look at it again, you realize, wait a minute, that's a gnome. And this is a little woman. And this little woman from the back, she looks like a hag. And from the front, she looks like a young woman. And they're both wearing this white mitt. Neither one wants the flowers. But the old hag, she's like, get out of here. We don't want your stupid flowers. They're not even yours to give away. And the younger woman is being nice. She's people-pleasing. She's explaining how they're in their finery and they don't want to get their hands dirty. And she's being nice. And this is saying, if people from your past come in and they have you in this energy, are you going to allow them in? Are you going to be nice, or are you just going to say, you know what, I'm not interested in replaying that old energy? And then there's these cups here are representing, the white flowers represent innocence, but these flowers are not innocent. They're from the nightshade family. You would never let people, let children or pets around these flowers and to play with them like this, because these are datra. And datra would be, if they ingest it in any way, it could make them really ill. And this is talking also about, datra is used by shamans sometimes to be able to bring up visions in ceremony so that people can heal their inner child and some the energies that are causing them stress from when they were young. It's usually unresolved energy and it's called like the inner child energy a lot of the time that needs to be healed. So the person in the background here also is not watching over them. It's just someone walking down the path. This is a stranger walking down the path. So, but there's no worry here because these aren't really children. And then we have a stronger foundation coming, and that's with this Wheel of Fortune turning. So it's talking about, this quite often can be considered the marriage card, but it doesn't have to be. It can be about making strong commitments to move forward in a strong way. If this is the marriage idea, it would basically be, you have the down payment for your castle now. Congratulations. It's quite a feat to do so, but you're still going to have to make the mortgage payments. And the question might have been popped, and both people said yes, but now it's, you're planning the wedding, but you need to also put some energy into the relationship if you want this to be, this is the promise of fulfillment, as long as you put the correct energy into it. And then we have the star energy coming up. So this is talking about being this innocence. I feel this is, you've done some healing here regarding what you want in your life and what you don't want, and you have created a strong foundation for yourself. So the star energy is about focusing on your destined path and not getting distracted by other people's that don't really have good wishes for you. And this is talking about, the star energy is following your North Star and putting your own precious, unique qualities, pouring them into the universal pool, and then pouring that out onto Earth. And there's 5 streams here, and that's representing the 5 points on this pentacle energy. So it's about bringing your special qualities down from the galactic star energy to the Earth. And it's interesting because the scientists have discovered that, human beings are made up of a high percentage of water, as are stars. And these actually represent the Pleiades, and the North Star is your North Node. It's following God's divine path for you, your destined path. And we have judgment at the top. So this is God's judgment, and this is saying the Hierophant is here in this position to bring down God's judgment here. So some sort of justice is coming through. We do have this energy of the ancestors literally climbing out of the boxes. They're so happy, and they're waving back and forth to the descendants across the veil. This can be leftover business from that your parents or grandparents or even great-grandparents couldn't clean up. And now it's coming out. The truth is coming out, and it's time for this energy to be cleaned up. As I'm doing this reading at this time, Uranus just moved into Gemini about a month and a half ago, and it's significant because Uranus in Gemini wants the truth to come out. And the last time Uranus was in Gemini was 1941 to 1949, when World War II was on. And that energy is the truth coming out. And we're still dealing with truths from back then. That was like from the time I'm doing this reading, like about 75 years ago. So we're talking about the judgment coming down from like maybe decades or generations ago, as well as now. And with this energy here, it could be saying, with all this going back into the past energy, it's time to move forward and clean this energy up and move forward into that energy. So this is talking about truth coming out, judgment being called by the Most High, and that judgment being brought down to earth. This can represent skeletons coming out of the closet, or like Pandora's box being opened, basically. So we have the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor. There's some childhood energy here that could be involved in this. This is talking about you having a strong foundation. I don't see a lot of cups of love here except for this energy here. And so there's nothing intimate about that. So I feel that this is more talking about commitments that you make to yourself to move forward, heal from any old energy, from being treated like you're less than other people, like being breadcrumbed. This is lifestyle. It's not just about money. It could be about money for sure, but it's not just about money. It's about the way you feel when you're around certain people. And this is your star. You're meant to shine. And that's the energy here. Hatshepsut was considered one of the, when she was ruling, there was Egypt was flourishing, So it's talking about having that really strong energy. And then we have the Hierophant, and we have the Page of Pentacles. So there's communication. When this communication comes in, I still don't know what these three are doing here. Are they celebrating this energy coming towards you? Do you know who these people are? Let's see. We're going to clarify this a little bit more. If you're leaving the reading here and you feel like, no, I know who they are, okay, whatever works for you. And I want to thank you so much for your time and energy, likes, comments. And I'm going to clarify, though, for those that want clarification. So the numbers on these cards are from my Oracle, Tale from the Vector. This is on my website, talefromthevector.com. I have a gallery, and this is the order the paintings are in on that gallery. I will put them in the description box below in the order they appear here so that you can take a look. So here we have that Gemini energy that was coming up here. It's talking about that energy of Uranus being in Gemini and the truth coming out. I want to point out, when horoscope signs come up in my readings, I'm not talking about individual people. I'm talking about the qualities of each signs. If you ever get your birth chart done, you'll notice you have them all in there somewhere, so we can learn from each other. Every sign has its strengths and weaknesses, and we can learn, hey, how do they do it? Because they're the expert in that field. And so we have the Scorpio, and this is talking about Scorpio can either unite or it can conquer. So that's the energy. Like, what is competition really for? It's to uplift humanity, really. Competition is so that we can learn from each other and inspire each other to do better. And then we have the father figure energy. And so this could represent something to do with father figures, which the Hierophant sometimes can represent. So father figures, this could be your paternal line. If you're married, this could be your father-in-law and his paternal line. This also could represent if you are a father yourself, and it can also represent fathers of your children. So there could be some sort of information coming in regarding that. And we have the Leo. So we're talking about getting into a leadership role, and this is right on this energy of the Hierophant. So this energy, Leos are natural born leaders, but they take time to mature to be in that role. And so this is talking, you might be a natural born leader, but maybe there's things holding you back from your childhood. Think of adolescent boys when they, they can be really rebellious and they know it all. But they don't really have the confidence, and so they come off as being arrogant, and they fill up the holes with arrogance. And so this is something a lot of people grow out of as they get older, but some people never do. And then we have worldly and otherworldly desires. So this is about you giving yourself permission to move into your authentic desires, and to let go of people, places, and things that are holding you back from doing so. And it's also about other people can fall into the karmic space of wanting other people's spiritual and also worldly and spiritual desires. Or they're feeling that your path is meant for them and not for you, basically. And so that can be a karmic space that people fall into. And it can be, if you're at a competition and the other team is clearly better, they're probably meant to win that time. And you can't win every single time. There's always going to be someone else, as I said, that could win over you. And then we have the superstar energy at the top here. This is talking about making the decision about moving into your star energy. In case you didn't know it, you are a superstar. And this is talking about having harmony. God's judgment is to bring harmony to you, so you can have a strong foundation for moving forward. And some justice, there's some sort of judgment about, I feel, some pentacle energy, and that is in the making here. maybe these people really are celebrating for you. That could be possible. All right. Thank you for your time and energy, and your likes, comments, shares, subscribes. I really do appreciate all of that. I'll be back with another reading about random shift for you soon. Bye for now.